everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with some more wrestling news. This time, there's a lot of business news to talk about, stuff about TV deals and stuff like that. I'm not too hot on it, but I've done my research and hopefully it'll go fine. Also, we have an update on Enzo Amore. Of course, there was a legal update from him on Twitter yesterday, and there's another update concerning his potential future in the wrestling industry today. And finally, we take a look at some words from the new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, who wants to challenge WWE. What an ambitious man. Fair play, Harold. His name's Harold. Let's crack on with all of the news. Well, the first news to report is that WWE Monday Night Raw is close to renewing its TV deal with the USA Network. Apparently, they would re-sign for 3 times the value of the initial deal, or figures close to that. This is according, of course, to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. No, it's not. It's according to the Hollywood Reporter. Excuse me. The Observer then commented on that story, but the Hollywood Reporter. Well, I never. Now, as we all know, Fox was sniffing around. Everyone thought that Fox were going to swoop for both Raw and SmackDown, and that would, of course, meant that Raw would have gone back to 2 hours long to make room for Fox News at 10, according to Ross. That's what he just told me outside. Don't know if he was joking. Probably serious, actually. It sounds like a plausible sort of thing. But no, the fact that Raw is re-signing for such an inflated figure as well kind of suggests that it's almost certainly going to remain a 3-hour show. Yeah, yay. Yeah. But what does this mean for SmackDown? Because apparently SmackDown is not being renewed by NBC, so that means that SmackDown Live is going to be shopped around to various different networks. Apparently Fox still are the leading contenders for SmackDown, but the big question is, will Fox want to take on the number 2 show from WWE now that Raw appears to be pretty much off the table? But what does this mean for WWE on the whole? Mike Johnson of PW Insider has speculated that potentially it could lead to them, loosening their pockets a little bit, spending a bit more money because of the whole inflated TV deal. If Raw's bringing in more money, why not bring Pyro back? Why not fly a few wrestlers first class again, even though now they're flown in coach and, they're big 7-foot tall men. It's not comfortable for them. Ow, their leggies. Ow. Don't know where this point went. Pyro, bring back the fireworks, WWE. Come on, let's have a party. Woo, yeah. In more serious news now, it's time to talk about Enzo Amore. Of course, if you read our site yesterday, you will know, and apologies to all of those who couldn't access the site, it did crash because of traffic, which is, I guess, a good thing, but also a bad thing because no one could access the site for a little while. But Adam Pacitti has been working tirelessly to try and get it back up to speed, and I think it is now. I think it is back now. Double check that now, please. Anyway, it's time to talk about Enzo Amore. Of course, if you checked the site yesterday, you'll know that the case against him has been closed. There wasn't enough evidence to bring it to court, let alone convict him. So it's one of those situations where it appears as though he is completely innocent. However, what does this mean for his future in the wrestling business? Because, of course, regardless of the outcome of this accusation, it will always be tied to his name. And that means that, maybe he won't find employment quite as easily in the wrestling business. In his attorney's letter, which he shared on Twitter, it sort of said, Eric Arndt, his real name, is looking forward to moving ahead in the entertainment industry, but it didn't specifically mention professional wrestling. Well, Don Callis, one of the vice executive presidents of Impact Wrestling, of course, has chimed in on the matter when he spoke to the media yesterday, saying that he has a never say never attitude when it comes to Enzo Amore. He said, "You evaluate talent based on need and what you're looking to do. We have a long-term plan for how we engage with talent in terms of who's going to be on the roster, which roster spots need to be filled, etc., etc." It's not as much of a random thing. So, as with any other talent, I think time will tell. So I think Callis was keen to say that, we wouldn't just denounce Enzo because of this accusation against him, and we'd rather treat it like any other case. We'd have a look at what our promotion needs, we'd have a look at what the wrestler provides, and if it all meets that criteria, then we bring him in. But the wording of it does obviously make it seem like he's not too keen. Perhaps not because of the accusations against Enzo, but the fact that he's not the best wrestler. Not the best wrestler in the world, is he? Let's be fair now, not the best. And finally, New Japan's new president, Harold Meij, has suggested that New Japan want to trouble WWE in the future. And he said if you look at their product, then it seems like a reasonable thing to suggest. I mean, New Japan have made fantastic leaps and bounds over the past year or two, especially bringing in Chris Jericho, bringing it to the eyes of a much wider Western audience, especially because Jericho is such a global superstar. Also, the wrestling itself is occasionally off the chain, as we know. Omega Okada delivered that wonderful trilogy of matches, and they are set to have another big match next month, which could grab a lot of mainstream attention once again. So I don't think Mr. Mige, if that is how you pronounce his name, he's Dutch, I don't know. Mr. Mige's claim, although ambitious, could well come true. Trouble doesn't mean overtake, does it? It doesn't mean surpass WWE. It just means appear on their radar and maybe cause a bit of a challenge to their monopoly on the wrestling business. And I applaud you, Mr. Mige, for your ambition. Good job, sir. That's all the news for now. Thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic and check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, obviously, to join us.